Do you feel like life is getting more expensive? If so, you're not alone. Over the years, the cost of living has been on a steady incline, making the middle-class squeeze feel tighter than ever. Let's take a moment to journey through time and compare the cost of life today to what it was 20, 50, and even 80 years ago. From the dream of owning a home to the basic necessities we need to live, the costs seem to be piling up, and the numbers don't lie. Consider education. Once considered a path to upward mobility, it's now a major financial burden for many. Or think about our wages, which despite slight increases, have largely remained stagnant in the face of surging prices. This is not a story of doom and gloom, but rather a reality check. This is the reality of the escalating cost of living that many of us are grappling with. The American dream of owning a home seems more elusive than ever. Let's take a walk down memory lane. In 1940, the median home price was a modest $2,938. Fast forward to 1970, and that price had jumped to $23,600. By the year 2000, homes were selling at a median price of $119,600. But here's the real shocker. By 2018, the median home price had skyrocketed to a staggering $368,500. If we adjust these numbers for inflation, the median home price in 1940 would only be around $40,000 in 2018. That's a significant increase, isn't it? So it's no surprise that the average homebuyer today is significantly older than they were in the 1980s. But it's not just housing. Our dollar doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Today, even after adjusting for inflation, our hard-earned money buys significantly less than it did 25 or 50 years ago. Take, for instance, a gallon of gasoline. In 1994, it cost a mere $1.06. Fast forward to late 2018, and the average price had jumped to $2.88. That's a staggering 75% higher than it would be if it had merely followed the inflation rate. Now, let's turn to education. It's now costlier than ever. Back in 1971, a year of tuition at Harvard University was just $2,600. But for the academic year of 2016 to 2017, the tuition had skyrocketed to $43,280. Clearly, getting an education and maintaining a basic standard of living is more costly than ever. While everything else is on the rise, wages seem to be stuck. It's a paradox that leaves many scratching their heads. Since 1970, wages have only increased by a mere 10%, according to the Census Bureau. You heard that right? Just 10%. Now let's put that into perspective. While the cost of housing has soared and the price of basic necessities like gasoline and groceries has inflated, the average wage earner's paycheck has barely budged. Imagine trying to run a race where your opponent gets a head start and you're left at the starting line. That's what it feels like for many workers today. It's a financial tug-of-war, where the cost of living pulls harder each year, yanking the rope from the hands of wage earners, leaving them grappling to hold on. It's a struggle that many can relate to, and it's a reality that's hard to ignore. The math just doesn't add up, does it? So, is there a way out of this middle-class squeeze? Well, there are some strategies that can help. First off, it's crucial to build and maintain an excellent credit score. This isn't just about impressing your friends, it's a practical tool that can help you secure loans with the best terms when it's time to make big purchases, like a home. Then, think about where you're living. Could you consider a move to a more affordable area? For instance, if you're in a bustling city like New York, moving to a nearby suburb could save you a hefty chunk of change every year, even when you factor in the costs of commuting. And what about your job? With the rise of remote work, you might be able to keep your current position even if you decide to relocate. While we can't fight the rising costs, with careful planning and smart choices, we can navigate this challenging landscape.